Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hello again, youngster. You're certainly doing a lot of running to and fro. Don't overexert yourself. The wasp-mosquitoes can smell weakness. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff it gets bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel. Oh, there that damn thing is. Thank you. I guess this proves it's wise to label your things. Otherwise, some fool might use them as prizes in an ill-advised scavenger hunt. Hey now, I don't steal. I repossess that which never should have been offered to the public in the first place.
That sounds like the very definition of stealing. We, of course, would never do anything so base.
Do you people make it a business of coming into Rizzo's workplaces and harassing the employees? I will admit, I did take the original, yes. But I did so to keep it away from those who shouldn't have it. It's safer in my hands. If you're here to get it, I might suggest you give up. I'm known to be quite a stubborn git. The what now? I didn't order any mines or machines. I just paid Slug to encourage people not to enter the puzzle hedges. Figured they'd just dress somebody up like a primal and chase maze-goers, like we did after the Spectrum Black unveiling a decade back. Or maybe that was a real primal, I forget. You're gonna threaten an old man? Do I look fit enough to defend myself? I'll hand it over, seeing how I don't have any other choice. But you ought to be ashamed. Here's the original. Don't do anything with it that I wouldn't do.
Hi there, somebody I don't know. Have you stopped to smell the purple berry flowers of late? Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening. Let me have a look. It's a little scratched on the neck, and the label's a bit smudged. Smells funny, but I think it is genuine, yes. This'll look real good in my archives. Here's your pay. I'll be in touch if there's ever another time when I need to keep a corporation honest. And if anyone ever asks, we never met.
way. I've had quite enough of you! Never anger a man of the cloth! May you find peace intact!
That's the last zone.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Captain!
Wanna give you a gift?
Did I hear something? Baby?
Covering you! But you're right, Captain!
Here's a little trick I learned in prison. Wanna be your friend? That's the last of them.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis. This discarded canister is typical of the R-mounted storage tanks on the Orchard's agricultural mechanicals. However, it is not currently attached to a mechanical. This canister contains a high amount of vinegar in addition to water. Warning. Use of vinegar, a known herbicide, on purpleberry saplings is a violation of Rizzo's agricultural standards. Chemical makeup of substance, 50% water, 50% vinegar. Trace amounts of woolly cow feces also detected. These canisters can typically be found in the nursery storage building in the Purpleberry Orchards, except for this one, which can be found here.
Watch out, Captain!
So you happiness?
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? All right, let's hear the details. A drink? I ain't never heard of no saboteur dumping drinks all over equipment to destroy it. I hate to say it, but that sounds more like worker carelessness.
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? Slug isn't behind your problems. Slug wouldn't even need to cause you problems. Your own workers do enough.
Ha! Knew Slug was behind the damn sabotage.
Please. We're subtle, but that's too subtle. If we wanted to destroy your saplings, you'd have known them by the blackened remnants of their stems, not some half-assed poisoning.
I see you left a few of them intact even. Smashed more than I'd like, but I guess I'm glad you didn't obliterate them all.
Never did like leaving a job half-finished myself, but that's me.
So what were the fine details of the sabotage anyhow? Were Slug's lackeys trying to get the mechanicals to kill all our Waspkitos? Of course. And what better way to do that than by targeting our pollinizers? They'd be a hell of a pain to kill manually, but if you set the mechanicals to do it...
In your delusional fantasy, the Waspkitos wouldn't be out until next pollinization cycle. Wouldn't someone notice the rampant mechanicals beforehand?
That seems like a question you should be asking yourself. Well, yes, it's possible to manually start and end cycles in Hive Control, but we keep a careful watch on it. And there have been no non-Rizzo's personnel in or out.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Hathaway. What you're proposing is infinitely less likely than an idiot maneuver by one of your incompetent workers. I won't hear any further slander. Let's go through this one final time so even you can't confuse it, Hathaway. Slug didn't do a damn thing to your orchards. You're chasing ghosts.
Talk about ghosts all you like, but someone was screwing with my orchards. If it wasn't Slug, then who the hell was it? You're a professional inspector, and all you've got to say is no idea? Laws. Well, what's done is done, I guess. Right now, we of the orchards have to settle things with Slug. I reckon that you're about as impartial a third party as we're gonna get. Can you mediate?
Ah, what the hell. The orchardist seems to get off on complicating what should be a simple deal, but at this point, I just want to be paid and go. The pollen in the air is agitating.
Hey, would you look at that? All of a sudden, I have an urge to just pay Slug. How about that?
Yes. And Slug will go back to making sure your shipments get safely to you. That's satisfactory, right, Inspector? Right?
like to... To the... I am a storm!
Right hit! I'll take your confession now! Who in the name of the law is supposed to be watching the wilderness checkpoint?
Incoming!
I've had quite enough of you!
Here too. I appreciate the effort to make me feel at home, but you top rungers are fucking stupid.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detect. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Your life was merely an illusion anyway! Never anger a man of the cloth. I'll take your confession now. One hit, Captain.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hello? I can hear you out there. If you still possess the majority of your mental capacities, please locate the test room through the...
Yet another researcher killed in the line of duty. Who knew research and development was such a dangerous profession?
How in the Aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will. You do know that Halcyon Helen is a fictional character portrayed by the late actress, Ruth Bellamy, yes? One can't be too sure with so many simpletons around in the day-to-day. Regardless, I am not at liberty to divulge such information with non-employees or personnel lacking security clearance level Spectrum Orange. Of course, if you were to say, contract your services to me, I suppose I could grant you clearance enough to answer your murder-related questions, Mr. Inspector. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab. Oh no, they're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand? Call me a skeptic, but no, I don't believe it would be. Loose lips sink new product ships, you know? Happily, of course. Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Though it may be the more difficult route, I believe we should make every effort to save the lab techs. They are victims here.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
for the random explosive canisters everywhere, I'd almost call this cozy.
Here they come! Wanted to make you smile! Whoa, that's a lot of Rizzos. Just wanted to make you smile!
Might I conclude you've found an alternative method of pacification? Please return for consultation at once. And do remember, unauthorized access of confidential Rizzo's information is a capital offense. Just two in the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you're...
The hell was that?
Well, shit. This case just got a bit more interesting.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
It's not gonna... Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay. This is... This is Dr. Blossom. Eridanium gigaseous Slug Research Report 1. Subject: a bunch of slugs. Ugh. These things may well be Rizzo's ticket to the top of the board. But at the end of the day, they still look like my brother would.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Initially found these little bastards suckling on the hairy undersides of a teacup canid. Much like my brother, who works for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. The backstabber. Suffice it to say that these things are parasites. The canid didn't seem to mind, but it's almost as stupid as my research staff. Good stuff. Oh, whoops. Got some spectrum on the dissection subject. It's fine. Yeah, I think I see a couple sacs in the worm. Might secrete enzymes or poison or something. We'll figure it out later. Starting to see doubles, so I'm going to switch to working on the Gatling. Almost got the spectrum lock done.
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
Anyone else think there should be more bullet holes here?
Did the device find anything? Besides the obvious, I mean.
Well, that depends. I've seen folks drop dead from a tiny mandipillar bite. The bullets could have had a similar kind of venom.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Why do I get the distinct impression someone's trying to stop us?
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence. Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the waspitos for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
The waspitos are being released. Am I the only one not surprised by this? Someone must think we're getting into trouble!
I am a soul! I'll take your confession now! Our victory is their defeat.
Persistently chase an opponent for miles on end? At Rizzo's, we value the dogged work ethic these noble inspectors display.
Quite enough of you! Everyone all right?
Reminder, waspitos are aggressive pollinators who have been known to be
Timeline
extremely
discrepancy
territorial.
detected nearby.
No active waspitos detected outside of the hive. The pollinization cycle is concluded.
What? Oh, so sorry. What are...
I understand there was an incident at the orchards. The pollination cycle began without my authorization. Fortunately, you managed to save most of the hive. The wasp-ketos are essential to the orchards, you see. Losing them would have cost us months of production. The orchards can be a dangerous place, but my workers understand the hazards. Something about this incident troubles me. The circumstances are suspicious. But let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Have you discovered anything? You have my attention. Insisted. That's interesting. We'd scheduled a tour of the lab for Helen. Purely a public relations event to be held sometime in the indeterminate future. Then again, Helen and I were not well acquainted. I can't speak to her intentions. Little of consequence. We'd tour the grounds, pause at some locations appropriate for a portrait, let her shake hands with our scientists. Public relations. A picnic? I don't recall approving a private social gathering at the orchards. I'll have to make a note of this information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Was there anything else? That's deeply upsetting. Dr. Leora Blossom was an extraordinary scientist and a friend. We have a murderer on the loose, Inspector. As if the death of Halcyon Helen wasn't enough of a blow to our facility. Her commitment to her NDA was admirable. I'll make sure to accelerate the payout of her death benefits to her next of kin. I wish you'd give me a little more information, Inspector. Leora was a friend. But I promised to leave this investigation in your hands, and so I shall. If there's anything else you'd like to share, you have my attention. That's troubling, to say the least. Any transfer of proprietary data is strictly prohibited without my permission. A clever deduction, Inspector. That gives us a little information to work with. Yes, I share your suspicions. Someone didn't want you following their trail. This feels like more than corporate espionage. Someone's playing with us, Inspector. And I have never in my life enjoyed games. Did you discover anything else? This incident at the orchards must be connected to Helen's murder somehow. I don't know how, but I feel it in my marrow. My apologies, Inspector. This case is under your jurisdiction, not mine. I leave it in your hands. When you're ready, I suggest a word with the hotel coroner. She should have finished her autopsy by now.
Hey, Cap. Looks like they finally sent...
Oh, sweet gibbering law. Where'd you come from? Sorry, let me just get back in character. Whoa, 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 it's not what it looks like. Easy, friend. No need to get violent. There are as many reasons to spare my life as there are flavors in Rizzo's Spectrum vodka. I'll give you 2 reasons. First, I am a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Enterprise. And secondly, I'm just here doing a job for a VIP. Mascot's honor. I am acting on behalf of Mr. Black Hole Birdie, the Holmeister, the Hack Attack. I don't have a lot of time, but Mr. Birdie sent me to retrieve a message, something he recorded for Ms. Bellamy while he was off his kilter. You found the recording? Oh, well, that's just sweeter than a fistful of purple berry punch. Oh, law, Birdie's gonna slaughter me like a woolly cow. Will you meet me later, over at the pilot house? I swear, from the bottom of my employment contract, I will tell you everything I know about Ms. Bellamy's demise. What? But I can't? Please don't hurt me. I'm sorry. I can't. Not here. I'm sorry. The Pilot House complex. Meet me there, and I'll tell you everything, I swear.
What floor?
Feels good.
Cleaning cycle complete.
Could use a new pair of glasses.
I say, this pocket watch has someone's initials inscribed on it.
Must be an antique.
But aren't those your initials?
Ha! What a coincidence.
Hey, you. Come take a look. Hey, you look like you need some stuff. Fancy watch? Spare cufflink? Single earring? You want it, I've got it. Junk? My friend, this is not junk. These are people's prized possessions. Priceless personal effects, beloved souvenirs and knickknacks. Nice try, but you can't haggle me down. These are premium goods. Huh? Oh, well, some of the guests left this stuff behind. I would certainly not admit to that, even if it were true. Take a look for yourself. Me? Oh, sure. Terrific. Never better. And as soon as I pay off my docking fines, I'll be back on my feet and in my ship. So it turns out Slug has some pretty strict rules on vehicle docking, and I may have broken a few of them. Who'd think Slug would be so strict? Let's see. There's docking without prior authorization, double docking, docking into adjacent vessels, docking while under the influence of alcohol, docking while under the influence of caffeinoids, and loitering. And that reminds me that I've got delinquency fees accruing on top of the original docking fines. Which is why I'm hoping you'll purchase my fine wares.
Congratulations, customer. Your SAM unit is performing at peak capacity.
Sure he's not in the museum.
Even if he is, no one will think you dress the same as him on purpose.
Hardline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. Excellent observation, Inspector. Have you deduced a possible cause of death? Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler. Yes, Inspector. The Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the Chief of the Savages, played by Spencer Woolridge. This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Could use this to draw. Could use this to draw a fine bead on something. Or someone.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized beverages is strictly prohibited under Rizzo's company law. Ingredients include antiseptic alcohol, sucrose, and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic material. Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus spaceport.
Greeting protocols initiating. Greeting protocols cancelled. Phaeton cannot extend pre-programmed pleasantries at this time. Error. Phaeton requires an attitude adjustment. Clarification. Phaeton requires a gyroscopic axial realignment. Clarification of clarification. Phaeton must be realigned with the ship's internal gyroscope in order to calculate a flight path with an acceptably low margin of error. To achieve attitude adjustment, acquire the Gyroscopic Alignment Key, or GAC, and convey it to the Gyroscope Management Terminal in Engineering. Utilize the GAC to interface with the Gyroscope Management Terminal and execute the Gyroscopic Axial Realignment procedure. This will achieve an attitude adjustment. Rizos thanks you in advance for your assistance. Please note that Rizos does not pay for uncontracted labor, but a member of HR will issue a favorable remark on your permanent record. Access to engineering levels granted.
Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
Rizzo's Triple Berry.
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access and... Welcome to the Piraeus Spaceport.
Shab, putting trash in its rightful place for more than 70 years. Customer, something's...
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug. Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Sluglight Underground don't like that much.
If you had anything to do with Sublight, You'd have started shooting about 12 words ago.
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw! Well, you ain't gonna stick that nose anywhere ever again. Woolly piss! Why'd we decide to do this? Hey, any chance we could reschedule? Yeah, maybe do this whole showdown business, never? You don't need to tell us twice. Come on, all, let's get the hell out of here.
Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. The Rizzo's constabulary is currently not closed due to a sprat infestation. Bureaucratic processes are currently suspended. At present, criminal reports do not require paperwork. Please lament only in marked lamentation zones. Please. Error. Unit designation no longer wine taster. Unit designation now deputy. While potential lethality of unit instrumentation bears towards 95% violent utilization of equipment, would void unit warranty. All Rizzo's constabularies must include at least one deputy constable among the pool of available Rizzo's employee candidates. This unit was considered the most competent. Unit does not have a favorite wine. Unit is incapable of taste. Unit does... How may this unit be of service to you? Checking logs. Error. Informational limitations found. 2. Reciting limitation 1. Do not tell users about constabulary sprat infestation. We do not need to pay the health inspector's bribe. A third time limitation 2. Do not read informational limitations aloud, especially not to any of those void-damned snot-nosed guests, or I'll have you sold for parts. Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit. Please explicate your defense into this unit's recording equipment.
My permit wasn't expired, Scrap Heap. You probably just scanned it wrong.
Error. Unit's permit reading equipment was updated only last week. Please tell a different lie.
Tell a different... You're a mechanical. You ain't got the foggiest idea whether I'm telling the truth or not.
Correct. Criminal. However...
Damn it. She's one of the good ones, too.
This unit will remain secret.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Until you submit a confession, error, information on recent exchange lost, restarting conversation. Greetings, criminal. This unit would implore you to confess to your crime of landing with an expired permit.
You know what? My permit was fake after all. Let me out of here.
An aberration in the expected timeline for this organic being has occurred. Behold, the body of Maria Keene, formerly the constable of the Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. No signs of life detected. Maria Keene is survived by no known relatives. Multiple puncture wounds detected along the frontal bone and between the clavicle. Furthermore, the location and circumference of exit wounds suggest a firearm with unconventional ammunition. Yes, Inspector. These entry wounds match the profile previously detected on the Rizzo's Rangers mascot. Constable Maria Keene was likely killed by someone wielding the Needler. These casings are too minuscule for conventional small-caliber firearms. Each casing resembles a lancing needle used for medical and surgical purposes. High concentration of potassium chloride detected. Trace amounts of neurotoxin detected. These substances show the highest concentration near the entry and exit wounds. Cardiac arrest, rather than physical trauma, is the most likely cause of death. Your memo has been noted. This unit has been programmed to offer encouragement during moments of emotional strain. Banter protocol activated. We'll find the sprat bastards responsible, Inspector.
Muting volume now.
Stealing is illegal.
Incoming, Captain! Ah!
This unit has located the origin of all filth in this area, targeting upper levels of the Harbor Master's building for extreme sanitation.
Appointment? Yeah, that's why you're here. Appointment? Not entirely out of the question. Convince me. Inspector, you said? Well, maybe he'll appreciate your blunt charms. Maybe not. We'll see what he has to say. Mr. Kincannon, got an inspector here demanding to see you. Want me to call the guards?
No, thank you, Eileen. I've been expecting him. Send him up, please.
Ah, Inspector. Eileen is my right-hand woman and the finest assistant to ever grace this office. She is also tremendously skilled in causing physical harm. I recommend you do not insult her with any further attempts at intimidation. Now then, here for my alibi, I assume. Another murder? Drunk Raptidons? Black Hole Birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street? Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing. Did you now? You're confident they were slug agents and not, I don't know, hired thugs in stolen uniforms? Slug uniforms do seem to go missing from the hotel laundry with impressive regularity. Easy enough for someone to nick a few. The real question is, why would someone want thugs to get their hands on slug gear? I suspect you're right. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your intelligence. I'm used to working with Lou, you see? I hope you won't hold it against me. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector. With that settled, I assume you'll want to know where I was the night of Helen's murder. Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine? An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land complex. I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved? Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie, and I am, incriminatingly, people. It's as I said. You shouldn't. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune. I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I have a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid. You may very well want to. This particular trouble strikes me as not unrelated to your investigation. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter. I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the theft began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector. I do not trust it. I certainly wouldn't take that bet. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator. You do recall, Inspector, that I'm not to be trusted? But certainly, whatever you say. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate, shoot her. No, I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account. Was there something else you wanted to discuss? Very well. A few. Helen was strangely curious about the private business operations around Eridanos. She said it was role research, but how much business know-how does one actor truly need for an action picture? I also arranged to have Helen supplied with mag picks, bypass shunts, and other hacking tools. She wanted to buy in bulk. Because she paid me to, Inspector. Besides, Helen was enjoyable company. She was confident, resourceful, determined. Not unlike you, now that I consider it. That is the question, isn't it, Inspector? Tell me, do you really believe Helen's death was a mere crime of passion? Or one of petty career jealousy? A smart approach, Inspector. And yet, this murder is bigger than Miss Helen's personal life. Bigger than her latest moving picture. Her actions in the time leading up to her death do not align with those of an actor on Eridanos solely to promote Spectrum Brown. Stay sharp, Inspector. Now is not the time to lose focus. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily. I might. I just might. Your point, Inspector? Understood. I hope your suspicions prove useful in uncovering the truth. Be very careful, Inspector. I'd very much like to see you still around for the grand finale, whenever it comes, whatever shape it takes. One moment, if you please, Inspector. I've answered your questions. I believe it's my turn to ask you a question now. What, or who, made you decide to investigate me? Understandable. A man of my standing would naturally be tied up in all this, whether he wishes to be or not. Now then, did you need anything else? The original incident? Well, I made him an offer he should have refused. An excellent deduction, Inspector. Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted Sublight to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added. Still technically visible to the human eye, but only just. You're quite good at this. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred. And Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger. Do you think power belongs to those who submit the proper paperwork requesting it? Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business. Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slights, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities. Continue investigating, Inspector. I'm afraid you'll find both you and Ludovico will be disappointed in that regard. Constable Keene? Now that is a damn shame. Am I right to think this wasn't a workplace accident? No, I played no role in the good constable's death. None. I'm flummoxed. I'd nearly forgotten how that feels. It's quite unpleasant. Thank you for informing me of Constable Keene's passing. When you find her killer, please be certain to make them suffer. Would it surprise you to hear that, despite being on opposite sides of the law, we were friends? That her loss comes as a sudden blow. Maria was a decent soul, and law knows those are in short supply around here. A little square, perhaps, in her dedication to the rules, but good nonetheless. I'm also saddened to have lost an occasional drinking buddy. She was quite good at cards, you know. She was fond of a 0G, though I cannot begin to imagine why. But let's discuss something else. Do you have other matters requiring my attention?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Unclean counters, unswept floor, unhygienic vendor. This is unacceptable.